Hello everybody, welcome to Project Beauty, where we talk about project planning and everything beauty related. My name is Jen. I'm sorry if I'm looking all over the place because I just got a new phone and that's why the quality is different, but I just got a new phone yesterday because my other phone started to crap out on me. Just things have been going crazy with my stuff at home, so whatever. I'm going to work on to something new today, which is the Zendo palette, which there you can see my new phone. The Zendo palette from Natasha Denona. It's very beautiful. I'm trying to find a spot where you can see it without all the glare, but that's just not going to happen because of the packaging. It's very beautiful. I will show you the inside now. I will have swatches as well. This is what the inside of the packaging looks like. It's just beautiful. It reminds me of sort of like a more, I don't even know how to say this. It reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Wild West palette in a more bougie way. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't really attracted to the Urban Decay eyeshadow because I have a bunch of teal mattes already in my collection, but I don't have shades like these in my collection at all. I don't think I have even a green mint like that. So this really excited me and I'm really pumped to put this on my face. So just so you guys know, I've done my eyebrows already. I have trimmed them so they're quite small. They're very, very small and they don't stand up like normal. And then I did put on the clear brow gel from Milani. This is brand new. I just opened it. It's actually not brand new. It's probably a few years old, but it was a backup and it's been sitting in my collection. I will also be applying the Milani eyeshadow primer on top of this, or I guess on top of my eyes. So that will be the base for underneath the product. So in case you have the Milani eyeshadow primer, you will know how it will perform with it. So just underneath my brows, I have my MAC concealer in NW15. And I just lightly applied it. It's something that I'm working on in a project, and I thought I would be done it already, to be honest, but it's lasting a long time because you don't need much product. And I just carved it out and tried to brighten up underneath the brow. We're gonna go in with my, let's start off with the Sedona Lace 863 brush. It's going to take me a little bit to get used to, so please bear with me as I'm using the new phone. I'm going to put through the crease currently. I think I'm going to go in with Balance, which is right down here. And I'm going to blend a tiny little bit of Relief, which is in the center. So I'm going to combine those two shades. And I'm just going to lightly apply it through the crease because I am going to somewhat color block a little bit today. So I'm combining the two shades together, Balance and Relief, and I'm just going to press that into the crease and just a little bit above because I just want to shape the eye for the rest of the process. There is a little bit of kick up in the pan. I did go back and forth through the shades and there was a little bit of dust on top of the shadow. So if that's something that you're not interested in, please keep that in mind. I do want to set underneath my brow now, and I don't have a really light beige shade in the palette. So I'm personally going to go into the, this is the Love palette from Natasha Denona, and I'm going to grab the shade first, which is right here. It's just a flat beige shade, nothing special, but I definitely want to sort of set the product underneath the brow so that if I want to put a shimmery product underneath the brow bone, it won't go on to the sticky product too much because that concealer is pretty sticky. So now I'm just blending that out underneath and slightly blending out the crease as well with that. I definitely have a lot more eye space underneath between my brow and my eye. I actually have quite a bit of space there. So this is a process that I like to do depending on the look that I'm doing. Now we're going to start on the outer portion, and I'm going to do the blues, teals, whatever like that on this side of the eyes. And so I'm going to start off with Flow. Now keep in mind that, sorry, where is it? This one here. Keep in mind that these are all shimmers. Every single one of these seem to be shimmers. And so this is going to be a little bit, it's going to be very shiny on the outside of the eye. So just keep that in mind. I'm just playing around with the colors. I'm going to take Flow on my Morphe G17 brush because I just want to take a bit of the product. I know her shadows are very pigmented, but I want to lay it down and just see how the color looks, and I want to blend it out and bring it up a little bit. So you will see that in the crease, of course, I have laid the other colors down. It's going to adjust the colors just a little bit there. So you're going to see almost a little bit of like a grayish tone to it because I do have the other colors there. But don't worry, I am going to be putting the other deeper browns there, or deeper blues there as well. So that's not a problem. And it's going to bring a little bit of shimmer up to the upper portion of the eye as well. So I'm just placing this to see like, how is this performing? It's pretty nice. It's light. It's very shimmery as opposed to what I'm seeing in the pan. I think if I did like applied it with my finger, I think I'd get a lot more of opaqueness and a little more depth to it. But because I'm using a very fluffy, not a pinched ferruled brush, it's just giving me a light application, and that's really what I'm going for right now. I just want to set the first layer down and then apply on top of that. So far, I'm really liking the way that the shadow is performing. It definitely has a lot of pigmentation to it. It's very bright. It has a lot of reflection, and you can definitely see it placed on the eye, even though I use just a very small amount. The next shade I'm going to go in with is Equilibrium, and that one is right here. It's the middle of the deeper shades. So we're going to take the same brush, and I'm just going to focus that more to the crease. Sort of going like lighter to darker, and I have to be very careful because my eye socket is very pronounced when I apply a crease shade there, so it's definitely going to keep it a little bit darker, and I do want that, but I also have to blend it out going up. I don't want it to be just a really dark spot there. I've decided to pull you guys in just a little bit more. I definitely have a little bit of fallout, but I am using a very light, fluffy brush. It's a very fluffy, and when you flick, it's just going to drop a little bit of product down. So just be aware that I always do my face makeup last. I won't be doing face makeup today, so I apologize that my face is going to look much different than my eyes, but I am going out after this, and I want to make sure that I just do a thorough review of the eyeshadow alone currently. I will do more looks down the road using the Zendo palette with full face makeup on and stuff, but today I'm just focusing on the eyes. I'm going to start going in now with Mantra, which is the like greenish color here in the palette, and I'm going to focus that right in the outer corner. So I'm going to take my MAC, what is this, 217 brush. Really enjoying these brushes. This is the older one. I really like the synthetic one, and I kind of want to pick another one up. So I'm actually going to the mall today for a very, very quick pickup of some stuff. I don't like to really go out, but we have to anyways, because my kiddo needs to get some glass lenses, and so we were picking those up, and I thought, we're right at the mall, I'm gonna go and exchange a couple of my MAC MTs because I kind of want them out of my house, and then I'll probably maybe pick up a brush. So this color is really, really nice. It's definitely a more teal green, almost teal with forest green mixed. It's really pretty. I'm going to bring it just a little bit up above the crease because I want to make my eye look a lot larger, and when I have my like resting bitch face, definitely I lose some of that crease. So I want to make sure that it just looks really, really nice and really soft in the outer corner. So currently I have completed the green part. I always go back in and want to touch things up, so I should probably just stop at this point. Really liking the pigmentation, the application of these blue products, I definitely do struggle with a lot of matte teal shades, a lot of matte like blue or green shades. I struggle with pigmentation in a lot of my other palettes or singles. So really nice to see, even though that they're shimmer, it's really nice to see them smoked out in the outer corner, and the shimmer factor doesn't shock me. Like, it actually looks really nice on the eye. It doesn't look too shimmery where the light is catching it and making it just look glowy mess. It's looking really, really nice, and I'm enjoying that so far. I'm just gonna color switch my brushes up. I want to make sure I get as much of that green off of my brushes. I'd like to go in with some of the more peachier shades on the inner portion and maybe a little bit of like the reddish color. So I think first what I'm gonna do is lay down the shade Tranquil, which is again sort of like the lighter shimmery version of what the blue teal shade is, and I want to do the same process on the other portion of my eye. So I'm going to take that really lightly and I'm just going to apply that onto the top portion of my eye, sort of carving into this area here. I want to make sure that this area is sort of like contoured. So I'm just going to apply it there and then lightly bring this up close to the brow and then into the blue shade. This is a little more of a dull peach than I was expecting. I thought I was going to get a lot more shimmer and shine from the shade, but I'm not offended by it. It's not, I was just not what I was expecting, honestly, but it is very pretty and the colors are going really well together. I'm actually quite enjoying the look of the two together. And then again, just lightly blending in those two shades together at the top. So yeah, really enjoying that shade so far. I think what I'm going to do next is go in with scents. Maybe we'll try this one here. I want to try and use as many as I can today. So I'm going to continue with the same brush and I'm going to go in with that shade, which is sort of, again, like the mid-tone of these colors. And I'm going to focus that mostly toward the crease. This is almost a bronzed peach and it's so pretty. I will have to go back over with Tranquil because it's kind of taking over a little bit. It's definitely more impact and more pigmentation, and it's kind of making a cut here, and I don't want it to be such a hard edge. I want to blend that out, so I'm going to go back over that with Tranquil shortly, but I wanted to blend this out into the blue, into my crease area. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm saying about that little cut here, but I'm going to go back over Tranquil just a little to blend this out. And now what I'm going to do is I really want to go in this Vigor shade. I love like reddish, any kind of reddish color. Obviously I'm obsessed. I don't know why this is not, there we go, right here. And I think this is just going to be a nice matte shade, but I don't know if it's going to overtake the look. So we'll try it, and worst case, I'll go over it with another color if I, feel like it's too much. So we're going to use the 217 and just lay that down on the lid. So far, it's a more dull matte shade. It's not too crazy. Again, I'm using a blending brush to apply it, so it's not going to be super opaque. I'm just pressing it lightly over top of whatever eye base that I have left. I'm sure I've had a lot of fallout on it, and I'm not hating the fact that it's a little deeper and mattified on the lid. The blue stuff is like really standing out to me. It's really nice, and normally I'm not a fan of wearing like blue teal eyeshadow, so that just says something about the way that her shadows perform. When you can get someone who doesn't like usually to wear green and blue eyeshadow to really enjoy the application and everything, that's a big plus for this palette for sure. So she did a good job with those colors. So I'm trying to find a shade for the inner portion of the lid, and I think I might go in with Luster, which is a gold shade. So this one right here. I apologize that I'm not quite getting this phone situation and the focusing down. I haven't touched any of my settings yet, so I really should have played with some of those, but I want to give it some time and practice with the phone first. So I'm just going to brighten up the inner corner and pull it up into the contour and the crease a little bit, just a little, because I want this part to be deeper contoured, and then I want to brighten up the inner portion of the lid just ever so lightly. And I think this shade is doing that really well. I really think that if I sprayed it with a Fix Plus, it would have given me the bang that I wanted, but I'm playing with all of these eyeshadows dry today, and I will practice playing with them with other processes and other techniques down the road. But today I just want to do everything dry, see how it goes. I'm really liking this eyeshadow process. It's dull. I'm going to pull you in again. It's kind of dull, but not in a dull way. I don't know if that makes sense. It's not over the top. It's sort of, oh gosh, I don't even know how to say this. What this is giving me is, it's just very impactful and very beautiful with a very soft edge to it. I really enjoy the way the eyeshadows are looking so far. I'm just going to go ahead and clean up underneath my eyes, do my lashes and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll work on the bottom. I'll be right back. So I pulled you guys up good and close, and I have my Ardell 113s on, and I decided that I wanted to do the underneath of the eyes in a little bit more of a single color situation, I think, not so much as matching the top. So I think what I'm going to do is start off with Zeal, which is this shade here, just lightly placed underneath the eye, and I'm going to take a little pencil brush and just place that underneath. So this is more of an olivey green color. So really nice, soft olive green, kind of khaki green shade. What I'm going to do now is, I think I'm going to go in with the shade Balance, which is the one we started off with here. So I'm going to go in with this one here. And I'm going to take a different brush because I just wanted to not combine the colors. But I'm going to lightly place this underneath, and then I'll go back in with the other color and blend those out again, I think. We'll see how this does. It's actually going on really nicely and bringing a lot of warmth to under the eye. I really like how that looks actually, but I do want to emphasize the lash line. So I'm going to go in with Mindful, which is the deep like brown. It's almost like a reddish brown shade, and it's actually very reddish brown, but I'm going to try that with the other brush that we started off. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to go in with this pencil brush here, which is much more pointy, and I'm going to focus that at the lash line. And I feel like this is brightening it instead of deepening it, so we'll see how that goes. So it's okay. I'm going to keep with the same brush now and go into Mantra, which is that nice dark green we have on the base of the eye, on the outer portion of the eye. And I want to blend the outer portion together with the outside of the greens, just so that it blends really nicely together. I really like that. I think bringing the teal in at the end of the eye, like the outer portion of the lower lash line, just really blends it together and makes it look really nice. And I have to hurry up because I will start tearing probably now. So for the inner portion of the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with Yama, which is right down here. And I wish these would focus a little bit. So I definitely have to play with my settings. And I'm just going to color switch the pointy pencil brush. And I'm going to take Yama. It looks kind of like a duo-y type chrome. It's more so peachy gold, but it has some glimmery green reflex kind of to it. So you definitely have to work to see that shade. I think if it was sprayed or used with the finger, like applied with the fingertip, I think that would be a little bit better. But I don't want to use my finger because the spot where I'm putting it is very small. But it definitely is reflective and light catching. I think I might spray my brush. I'm actually going to spray it. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to spray with some Fix Plus and try it out that way. It's a little more reflective now. I think if I really wet my brush, it would go on really nicely, but I like how it is right now. I think this is exactly sort of what I was going for, just to enhance the lower lash line. So I'm just going to finish up my eye now, doing my lower lash mascara, and I will be right back. So my look is complete. I brought you in a little bit closer so you could see the look, and I really enjoy how the eyeshadows blend together. Obviously, Natasha Denona has a very beautiful formula. I really enjoy it, and I love how it applied. Definitely like a more, like I'm usually more for impactful looks, but this one is very beautiful. And I hope the camera quality is doing it justice because it is absolutely stunning. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down below what you think. And if you have ordered this palette or if you've already received it and you've tried it out, let me know what you think. I'm really curious to know. And now let's go ahead with the swatches. So let's do swatches. The first is Mindful. This is Luster. This next one is Balance. Let me do that one again. It's a very soft matte shade. This one is called Flow. This shade is very unique. It's called Mantra. It's just a very, very unique shade that I don't see in my collection, and really enjoy this shade. So that's the top row. Then we have Aura. This one is Vigor. It took a little bit to build up. It's a little chalky. I'm actually shocked the formula. I don't know of any other shade in her collection that is that chalky. This shade is called Relief. Very beautiful, very soft, finely milled, gorgeous shade. This shade is called Equilibrium. This next shade is called Breath. This shade is called Sense. The shade is called Tranquil. This next shade is called Calm. This shade is called Yama. And the last shade is called Zeal. This one is a very finely milled It just takes a little bit of applying for a swatch, but swatches don't really tell how they will apply on the eyes. I feel like these are best finger applied on the eyes, but they are all incredibly beautiful and have very nice pigmentation and application, and they blend very nicely together. So that is the Zendo palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and swatches. Please feel free to give me a like. I would really appreciate it. It's free to do and it really helps out my channel. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care of one another and be safe out there. Bye, everybody.